we graduated, and I was like, Albert, like typically, he was just like, I know what I'm doing. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna he got like a contract doing PR consultancy, so he was doing freelance work.
Yeah.
But like at a way higher rate than I was doing it. I was like, I was editing literally the day before I graduated, like the day before the ceremony. I was editing like Harry Potter fan fiction, basically, because that like someone on like Upwork paid me to do, and like she like became one of my most consistent clients. But like it was something like, for every word that she wrote, I would get paid like half a p or something like that. Like it was pretty close to the line there. But I was like, cool, like I'm gonna get like 20 quid out of this, like that works for me. And then like basically like I did a couple of internships and was working from there, and Albert was doing all this stuff, and I was like still doing a little bit of that freelance work, and like I was definitely like looking for more full-time stuff, but actually being like, like I'm not making a ton of money doing freelancing, and like it was a while, but like I'm not making a ton of money doing freelancing, but actually like this is really fun. Like I can very much dictate my own terms. I can say like I don't want to do that job. Like sounds ridiculous. Or like that be like, oh yeah, I want to work like extra time today because like I want to make a little bit more money, and actually start to build up a little portfolio from there and start to write more for blogs and small magazines and stuff like that. And like just have fun, like having fun with it. And then we started having this conversation, like, and as you do when you graduate from uni, you're sort of like, I don't think I went over this a little bit already, but like you see your friends when you're at uni like every day, and then you go out into the big bad world and you start seeing them less and less. And like Albert and I were seeing each other less and less. And then we met up at a coffee place in central London, and we were both just like remember that there was a conversation that we were having, like had a conversation like 3 or 4 years before that, where we were like, all of these amazing artists that we work with actually really struggle to do the business side of what they're doing. And I was like, yeah, that is literally me right now. Like I have no idea like what I need to be paying to who, like I have no idea how much I should be getting paid, like, and I was like, I've like started to figure that stuff out for myself, but like I wish that, a year ago or a year and a half ago or however long it had been at that point, like I wish that I could have like a tool that not only really helped me out with all of that stuff, but actually like gave me the advice that I needed. And I remember being like, maybe we should start like a magazine or something that does this. And like then Albert was like, what about like the idea that we had earlier, like way earlier, where we had that like one-stop shop system, and that's sort of where UnderPinned really came from. Like we drew up an investment thing like the next day and started looking for money pretty much right away. And yeah, like, but look, that transition from uni to real life is something that like I definitely struggled with. Like I'm prone to days where I want to stay in bed, and like I had a lot of those days after I graduated, and it's like something that I feel for a lot of people in a lot of ways. And like, so like seeing my friends who are like 3rd year, 4th year university students now, and it's like, they've got 2 months left, and like I'm like, I see the fear, buddy. Like I know what's going on. Like that, like it will honestly, it's gonna be fine. Like you'll find someone that you like, but you kind of like, I hate to say it because I feel like, I keep talking about influencers. I feel like an influencer every time I do, you've just kind of got to grind. Like that's like, it sucks to say, but like there is an aspect of it to that. Like I can talk to you about like all these secrets and be like, oh yeah, if you go to your interview and you're wearing like red tie or like a red article of clothing, and then like people will like think that you're like on point, but like all of that's like, that's all bullshit. Like the reality is that you kind of just need to dedicate time to, if you're working as a freelancer, sending out your portfolio to literally everyone. If you are looking for work, so like having a point in the day where you're actually like really dedicated to typing up a CV, for a very, very specific job instead of just sending like a blanket CV out to everyone and saving it for portfolios, by the way, which is like, you shouldn't be sending out a blanket portfolio. It should be like, oh, you're a company that makes, I don't know, watch graphic designs for watch advertisements. Like, here's some stuff that I've done that's relevant to that, or here's some stuff that I've done that like, and here's like my point that like I'm saying that like this work that I've done that's kind of different, it is actually relevant to that and can be supported in your thing. Because like a good art director will see a portfolio and will say, I'm going on a huge tangent.
It's still useful.
A good art director, right, will see a portfolio and will be like, this isn't immediately relevant to the work that I want it for, but I can see how I can tap into this person's talent and actually draw out something that will be relevant. But you know, good art directors are very, very limited. And like, I'm really lucky because I have Julia, who's not our art director, she's our head of design, who's incredible, and she absolutely has a great eye for when we're talking to contractors and freelancers, being like, no, like he's like, this guy doesn't do like the work that we're looking for specifically, but like if we ask him or her to change up a little bit, we can actually get something really interesting out of this. But like in my mind, like those people are few and far between who can actually see that, which is why you need to be basically like assistant.
It's much more like fast paced.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Like yes, no.
Like the average time, the average time that people look at proposals and CVs is around 13 seconds. Okay. Like it is literally cool, yes, pile, and then they'll come back to it and consider it in full later on. And like that's tough, right? Because that's something really, really small. Like you could be an amazing designer or an amazing copywriter or whatever. Sorry, the wind's just coming through there. You can be an amazing copywriter, designer, whatever. Like, but if you make a mistake on a proposal that you send out, and it's the same thing for your CVs and resumes, like that's the kind of thing that they'll just be like, no, and it sucks because like that person could have been an amazing fit for your company, for the work that you're trying to do, but like the printer messed up and like it doesn't look as good as it's meant to, and like that's all the difference that it really needs. Like